Zig Ziglar, the 20th century American author and motivational speaker, best remembered for his sharp wit and southern charm, once noted, "Repetition is the mother of learning and the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment." Or, as Malcolm Gladwell put it, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good, it's the thing you do that makes you good. In our fast-paced world, the concepts of repetition and practice often get a bad rap. We live in an era that glorifies novelty and innovation, pushing us constantly to seek the next big thing. But amid this constant chase for the new, we often overlook the importance of revisiting what we already know, or more accurately, what we think we know. The irony is that we set ourselves up for repeated mistakes by neglecting to review and reinforce our knowledge. This tendency to overlook the importance of repetition isn't just some kind of accidental lapse, it's a fundamental aspect of human nature, and we ignore it at our peril. Consider the world of medicine. A 2015 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association reviewed data from nearly 371 million older adults across 17 countries over more than 20 years. The study found that the use of potentially inappropriate medications in older patients has become increasingly common. Critically, the researchers also discovered that nearly 30% of medical errors were due to what the study called errors of omission, mistakes caused by healthcare professionals forgetting key information or steps in their practice. The study's conclusions emphasize that regular repetition and practice could have easily prevented these errors. Bottom line, the adage, "practice makes perfect," isn't just a motivational saying or something your teachers annoy you with in school. It's actually a crucial part of maintaining excellence in any field. In a groundbreaking 2001 study published in the Journal of Motor Behavior titled "The Role of Deliberate Practice in the Acquisition of Expert Performance," K. Anders Ericsson and his colleagues delved into the mechanics of how individuals achieve expertise in sports and other performance-based domains. The research emphasized that expertise is not merely a product of innate talent, but primarily results from deliberate practice, repeated, focused practice sessions specifically designed to improve performance. This type of practice differs from mere repetition. It requires a conscious effort to push beyond current abilities, often under the guidance of a coach or mentor. The study concluded that this deliberate, repetitive practice is critical in achieving high performance levels, whether in athletics, music, or other skill-based activities. Ericsson's work has profoundly impacted our understanding of skill acquisition, challenging the notion that talent alone determines success, and highlighting the vital role of repetition and structured practice in reaching the pinnacle of one's abilities. Legendary basketball player Michael Jordan was known for his explosive talent early in his career. Still, he was often criticized for his inconsistent jump shot. Frustrated by his shortcomings, Jordan sought advice from his trusted coach, Tex Winter. Winter told him that the only way he could turn his unique talent into perfection would be to practice the jump shot every day until it became second nature. So Jordan dedicated himself to countless hours of repetitive shooting drills, slowly but surely perfecting his form and technique. Day after day, he would shoot hundreds of jump shots in practice, focusing on every minute detail of his form. The relentless repetition eventually transformed his once inconsistent jump shot into one of the most feared weapons in basketball. In Jewish tradition, the concept of chazara, or reviewing what you've learned, is central to mastering Torah study. Learning something once is just not enough. Proper understanding and retention come through repetition. Rabbi Yaakov Yisrael Kanievsky, the Stipler, who was one of the foremost Torah scholars of the 20th century emphasized the importance of chazara, telling his students that chazara only truly begins after a person has gone over the material at least 4 times. Simply put, according to the Steipler, the first 4 times you learn something are just to get familiar with the content. It's only after this initial review that the real process of ingraining the knowledge can begin. Perhaps the source for this idea of chazara is in Parshat Va'etchanan, where we encounter a similar principle at the very dawn of Jewish history. Moses stands before the Israelites and he repeats the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments, originally stated by God at Mount Sinai 40 years earlier, were a fundamental teaching of the Jewish faith, and no doubt they had been baked into the system. But sometimes familiarity breeds ignorance. If you think you know something, you may really not know it at all, which is why Moses' decision to repeat such a central tenet of Judaism wasn't just a matter of formality, it was essential. The act of Moshe reiterating the 10 Commandments was not just about passing down information. It was about ensuring that the core principles of Jewish faith and identity would not be lost, because everyone thought to themselves, but of course we know that. And it's worth remembering that something new is revealed with every repetition. This case was no different. Moses not only repeated the 10 Commandments, he reframed them to resonate with a generation that had not directly experienced the miracles of the Exodus or the revelation at Sinai. He adapted the message to a new context, understanding that the failure to repeat and reinforce these divine laws would inevitably lead to them being forgotten, something that could jeopardize the future for the Jews as a nation. The lesson here is timeless, whether in our spiritual lives, our professional endeavors, or our personal relationships. The things we fail to review and practice are the things we are most likely to forget. And what we forget can have serious consequences. In Jewish tradition, the Shema prayer is recited twice daily, highlighting the importance of repetition in maintaining our connection to faith. This daily ritual is an essential reminder that repetition isn't just a tool for learning, it's a safeguard against forgetting. As we go through life, it's easy to get caught up in pursuing new experiences and ideas, but we must remember the value of looking back, reviewing and reinforcing what we have already learned. Whether it's in our careers, our relationships, or our spiritual practices, repetition is not just a safety net, it's the key to mastery. The rapper and hip-hop artist Dwayne Michael Carter, better known as Lil Wayne, says it so well: repetition is the father of learning. I repeat, repetition is the father of learning.